And come on in, Becky. I want to introduce you to somebody new to the Sizzle family. I hope she's here all the time. She is delightful. I love her. Okay, so imagine when you make cakes and you make brownies and you make, this is Becky Parr, by the way. Is she beautiful? Just take a minute. A little bit of a minute for Becky. Here's what's happening now. Imagine making cakes and brownies and cookies and all your other favorite things, and you have one piece that's this big and one piece that's this big. Here's what's really cool. She has teamed up with BergHOFF to make the perfect slice. Whether you are making cakes, you're gonna see some of the pieces today, you're gonna see some tomorrow. But Becky, I love that we're talking about a quality company and a new innovative idea.
Thank you.
How did this all get started?
Well, it was out of necessity because I moved from Texas to Michigan with a 13-year-old daughter. And in order to make her have friends very quickly, I became the party house. And I was baking all the time. But the number of kids coming was always changing. You know, sometimes we'd have 9 for a sleepover, or 12 volleyball girls, or 22 football teamers. So I had to make sure that the boy in the back of the line had the same amount of food as the one in the front.
So show us how to do that.
Okay, well, what I did was I put inch marks all around my pans. And I realized pretty quickly that I couldn't cut a straight line. No one can draw one, so you certainly can't cut one. I needed a straight edge. So I invented this tool, and it goes all the way across from line to line. And all I have to do is press down and move on. And I can cut 2x2s, 3x3s,
or you could do larger pieces if you wanted to.
I can. In fact, if I'm doing, I oftentimes will cut some for children and larger slices for the older people. Well, you can certainly do that.
I like the larger pieces.
Or you can have 2 smaller.
Or I can have 2 smaller ones. I'm just seeing now. Yeah, I knew Becky. I liked you right off the bat. Let's talk about the marriage though with BergHOFF, because I think one of the interesting things we talk about all the time, baking is half of the ingredients and half of how you mix it, but it's also really half of what you're cooking in.
Absolutely. You know, I hear all the time that people think they can't bake or they're bad bakers, when in fact they just have bad bakeware. There are no standards in the United States, so you can buy a really thin pan that burns everything you cook and you blame yourself, when in fact all you need is a heavier pan. These pans by BergHOFF are 8 millimeters thick.
That's important because you know sometimes you put a pan in and it goes bing and it pops or it twists. That's not going to happen.
It will not happen.
Can I try this while you keep telling about the pan?
Absolutely.
What about the non-stick?
This has a non-stick coating that is also patented from BergHOFF. So it is going to stay on there a long time, and it's going to be non-toxic, which is really important when you're talking about. Isn't it?
And I did every other mark.
I did too.
But I could even do every mark if I wanted to go smaller.
You can.
And then now how am I doing it across here? Do you want to show me?
I do.
This is all washable too. We can just pop this in the dishwasher if we want to, right?
Absolutely. It's dishwasher safe.
Oh, look at this.
Because we don't have time for that. And let me tell you, if you've got to have a brochure to know how to use some kitchen equipment, no one's going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's going to do it.
This is easy squeezy, so you don't have to be Einstein to know how to use it. It's very self-explanatory.
This is a true story. When my daughter was in grade school, we made cookies to take. And I would sit up at night trying to figure out how to get the tablespoons, you know, like of the cookies. And then some would be larger, and some would be cooked, and some would be smaller. I want you to think about this. Forget doing 9 million cookies for the class, or for the bake sale, or for the church group, or for your girlfriends coming over. Do this. Look at this. You could even do cookie bars.
Yes.
You could go, now, how did you make them triangle, tricky dog?
I've got to tell you, you can do anything you want to with this. This is just our 9x9 brownie pan.
And here's the thing I want to mention. The one that we're talking about now is this big cake pan, but we do have the item numbers, and maybe we can give those really quickly. The item numbers for all the other pieces. If you want the 3-piece square cake pan one that we're going to show you next, it's 466715. If you want to do the rounds for the cake pans, that is 466716. If you want to do the big rectangular one that we're doing there, that's the item number that we have up, 466639. And then you have the large cookie sheet, but you could do cookies in here if you wanted to.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can. That's one thing about good bakeware. It's a casserole dish as well as a dish for sweet things.
I love that you've done these in triangles.
Well, let me tell you why I did. Is because I'm a Weight Watcher. And If I had gotten a whole 3x3 square, which is what they said a serving was, it would have been 320 calories. Couldn't do it. So I cut them in half and made these beautiful triangles. And now they're just 160 calories, and I can have one of those.
See, we can do that, can't we?
We can do that.
Let's keep going down and talking about what we have. Because listen, you can buy any one of the sets for $5. If you want to go through and buy every one of the sets, it's under $20 on the value pay. Look, I love when we get new, innovative, cool things. Let's keep going down. Because here's what I think, again, if you just bought this for the great pan, and I want to say, if you just oh, of course, I think they almost nailed it. Okay, if you just bought this because you want a great bake pan or really solid with the non-stick at $29, this would be great. But you do have the perfect slice, which is going to match each one. But look at some of the other things that we've done, even cakes. You even did a brownie-like cookie.
I did. This is one recipe of snickerdoodles. Now, normally you would have to make the batter and then put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours to chill and then roll them in little balls and that kind of thing. And then you still have a platter of plain-looking white cookies. But by doing one pan of snickerdoodles in my cake pan, I skipped 2 hours worth of prep.
Smart.
I put it in there, it comes out like this. I cut it in 12 wedges and decorate them any way I want to, and that becomes a centerpiece, not just a cookie.
Because bakeware should be fun, shouldn't it?
It should be fun, and you know what? It should look like a party in your house every time.
Okay, look what you did with the cakes.
Now, cakes.
Easter's coming up.
Yes, and I actually made this for my friend Brandy because she's having twins, a boy and a girl, and this is what I plan to do for her bridal shower.
Would this be fun?
A lot
do you
of
know,
people,
is it a girl or is it a boy yet?
It's both. It's twins.
Oh
That's
my
what I did to
gosh. She does need 2 cakes. I tell you that she does need 2 cakes.
But how many times?
Oh, I only have 20 seconds left, so sorry.
Well, how many times have you had someone say, I just want the tiniest little piece of that cake? And what happens is they get no icing. They just get cake. But if you do it this way, which is actually an idea I stole from a very fancy restaurant, bake a single layer, cut them this way. I got 12 pieces out of this pan, which would have been 124.
And you're perfect to go.
That's right.
Hey, listen, now, Becky, you're going to be here for the next, 2 days, right? Today and tomorrow.
I am.
I want you guys to check out all of BergHOFF's things online. And remember, Becky's going to, you're now officially part of the Sizzle, my friend.
Thank
now
you.
you're going to have to come back all the time.
I would love
and
to.
And put up with our shenanigans
I would love
in the
to.
mornings, too. Hey, listen, don't forget, $5 on the value pay. That all comes home to you. And listen, 466-639 is your item number. It is brand new for this event.